Good morning, Kyle Jacobson, Operations Section Chief on the Crooks Fire. Current acreage is 3,914 acres at 22% containment. We're going to start today up here in Division Kilo. From DP 30 looking to the east, everything looks really good. You can see that we have black line, meaning this fire's been controlled and there's a low probability that we will have any further northerly progression coming out of this area. We've been able to increase that black line all the way into Mount Davis, and resources are making really good progress mopping up and securing all of this line. Today we're going to have resources working to the south towards 5 Points, continuing to secure this line. We see very few smokes popping up. They're just trying to increase the depth on our mop-up, which means we're going further interior from the fire's edge to make sure that we have this line good and secure before we turn any of this to black and say that it's controlled. As we move south from DP 50 or the 5 Points area, we've got line completed all the way down into Yankee Doodle Peak. For the last day, this line has held and we haven't had any further fire progression holding within its current footprint. We have crews from Yankee Doodle Peak working to the southwest, as well as resources working from Senator Highway to the northeast. They have about a half mile of line to complete in here, and we feel that there's a high probability of success and that the resources are going to be able to complete this line here in Division Tango. What we did have yesterday in Division Alpha, the fire did move south. It progressed yesterday afternoon all the way down to the 82 road. That fire continued to grow overnight. So despite the higher RHs, the winds and the terrain kept that fire progressing to the south. So we did have quite a bit of fire growth to the south yesterday. We do have resources today that are going to be coming in on Ash Creek Ridge and staying as close to direct or slightly indirect down Ash Creek Ridge, trying to push this eastern flank to the south and prevent any further movement to the northeast. We're also going to be having resources scouting line on the southern edge, trying to figure out where we can kind of tie these pieces together. And we do have a few dominant ridges as well as a fuel type change in there. So we've had heavy timber in this area, in the area where the fire's been predominantly burning. As we get further south, we transition into more of a desert shrub type where firefighters will be able to be more effective in that area. Yesterday, we had some success putting in some line on the 81 road. Last night, we had a hotshot crew and some of the night resources. They did a small firing operation, approximately a half mile, and they were working this from east to west along the 81 road. Those operations were extremely successful. We had 2 small spot fires, less than 10 by 10, that they were easily able to pick up. And what this is doing is it's putting in a buffer. As our winds are starting to shift to the south, it's going to want to push this fire back to the north again. So what we're trying to do is get a buffer in on this north end so that if this fire does decide to turn around, we have a good place that we can prevent any of that northerly progression and keep the fire from impacting any infrastructure that we have on the north side. We're also putting in contingency lines, so we have multiple options if this fire does decide it wants to make a good northerly push. As well, we have the structure group that was able to complete line in the potato patch area, giving another east-west option if something does happen with this fire. They're continuing to do structure prep, put in sprinkler systems, and do structure assessment to make sure that we have a good idea of all the structures in the area and that we're able to implement any defensive tactics if there is some unforeseen movement in the fire. So we are continuing to make progress in this fire, pushing this fire south away from the infrastructure. We are expecting, like I said, those winds to switch out of the south. So we will see more smoke today. It will be coming into the Prescott area, whereas the last few days it's mostly been pushing to the south. That's going to turn around, so you will see some increased smoke impacts today in the Prescott Basin area, and just want people to be aware of that. It's not from the fire necessarily moving closer, it's just that wind shift is going to increase those smoke impacts. Have a good day.